Let's talk about Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Bryce Young, former number 1 overall pick. The Panthers traded like everything to get this man. Picks that the Chicago Bears have turned into Tyreek Stevenson, Darnell Wright, Caleb Williams. They still have a second-round pick in this draft, and they got DJ Moore. And now he's getting benched. I don't know if this came from Dave Canales or if this came from David Tepper, the Panthers owner, who seems very impatient. But Bryce Young, I've never been super high on Bryce Young as a prospect. I think he fell into that quarterback mold that a lot of Alabama quarterbacks get put into, where they're like this elite prospect just because they went to Alabama. Mac Jones, Tua, and Jalen Hurts, which ironically, Jalen Hurts is probably the most successful and out of those three, and Jalen Hurts was taken in the second round. He was the only one of those three taken in the second round. Bryce Young, I think he looks lost out there. He doesn't have the physical attributes. I don't know if the speed of the game isn't keeping up with him, but somehow Andy Dalton always finds a way to play the Bengals. And week 4, the Cincinnati Bengals go up against Andy Dalton and the Carolina Panthers. But Bryce Young, just watching him play. And last year I said, you know what? They don't have a lot of weapons. Like I'm gonna let Bryce Young just kind of. It's his rookie year. Doesn't have a ton of weapons. There was a ton of coaching turnover, which could still be an issue. I mean, having technically, I think 3 head coaches in a matter of less than 2 seasons, that has to be super confusing when you're trying to learn the NFL. But now he's got Deontay Johnson. He's got Xavier Legette. He's got Adam Thielen still. They have some guys. Like none of them are like pinnacle types, but they have people you can work with.
They didn't even use Legette this past game. They didn't even use him. But
I haven't watched the full game, but Bryce Young, he doesn't look like he knows that he's playing the game. Like
he looks very sad. He'll do something and then he'll be like
the ball, and he's like looking around like, why do I have this?
I don't know what is going on with him, but you might be right. It's something with some of these top picks. I don't think some of them are actually as good as they actually look. Like they might be better in college. Like, listen, Bryce Young, I'm pretty sure he won the Heisman. He did win the Heisman, if I'm not wrong. And I believe he won the Heisman in the same year that was like Kenny Pickett. So, I mean, like he wasn't going up against like some like crazy G players. Like it's not like it was last year where like Jaden Daniels was going up against McCarthy and all of these different guys and whatnot. Like this guy literally had like a Michigan running back, Kenny Pickett, and somebody else, I believe, if I'm not wrong, in one of the years.
Bryce Young won the 2021 Heisman Trophy. The finalists were Aiden Hutchinson, Kenny Pickett, and C.J. Stroud.
Unreal. So it wasn't. It was all right.
He beat Stroud. Stroud was good and is good in the NFL, and it's been reported that Frank Reich and the coaching staff at the time for the Panthers wanted C.J. Stroud, but David Tepper said, "No, I want Bryce Young. We traded everything for Bryce Young." And it was like, I mean, at the time, and people are gonna like look back and say, "Oh yeah, C.J. Stroud was clearly the better." There was so much debate at the time about Anthony Richardson and C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young and who was better.
Stroud's the best out of all of them.
We were saying none of these guys might be good. We were saying all of them might be good.
The problem
Stroud's
with
the only one who's proven anything.
I was going to say the problem with that one though was that like if you look at it, these were the quarterbacks that you had. You had Bryce Young, who was the guy coming out of Alabama that was supposedly the best, but he didn't even look like he was the best. Like he wasn't some generational quarterback. Then you had C.J. Stroud coming out of Ohio State that we've already talked about Ohio State, where Ohio State hasn't produced a lot of really good quarterbacks coming out of that except for him. And then Anthony Richardson only playing, like you said, 17 games in high school or whatever, since high school or whatnot. But like he's only played a certain amount of games. Is he NFL ready. And I mean, this all makes sense. I remember us talking about this, but like Bryce Young, I like I said, I mean, the people that he beat out that year, I mean, minus Kenny Pickett, Stroud and Aiden Hutchinson easily were. I for some reason thought it was Michigan's running back. It was not Michigan's running back. It was Michigan State's defensive end. Yeah, not
well, Michigan's defensive end.
Yeah, that's what I said. It wasn't at Michigan State though. I don't remember. It doesn't
No, matter. Hutch went to Michigan.
Wow.
But I think this is going to happen again this year. I think any quarterback up until the guys that Nick Saban scouted leave or are just phased out due to time. I think for a long time we're going to see Alabama guys get put in this mold where it's like, and we have seen this, where they're going to be these high draft picks just because they went to Alabama, and the wide receiver talent's going to help them out. And I haven't watched a ton of Jalen Milroe, but I've already seen it with him, where everyone's talking. He's so super great first round pick, like this great first quarterback off the board. What I've seen, I haven't been super impressed by. Is he a decent quarterback? Yes, obviously he's Alabama SEC D1 quarterback, but I don't know that he's better than Quinn Ewers, who I also haven't watched a lot of, but has impressed me a lot.
And so, another quarterback that I want to throw out there, he actually is from Alabama. He's a transfer to Pitt. Eli Holstein is somebody you want to watch out for because dude has won Rookie of the Week 2 of 3 weeks so far, with one being ACC Rookie of the Week, and then this week I think it was just straight up Rookie of the Week. So point being is that, like, I mean, he came from Alabama. He was a transfer because he didn't want to play under somebody that wasn't Saban. But I mean, he actually is really good. But it's going to be kind of interesting because will they print him as Pitt or will they print him as the Alabama transfer that went to Pitt? So
we all know Shooter Sanders is the number 1 overall pick. Clearly, I mean, there's no debate about that. But
I mean, Texas. Hey, listen, Texas also is 1 first. They're ranked 1 in the nation right now. Arch Manning.
Well, after Quinn Ewers went down, got injured with 10 yards to go on my parlay.
But, I'm sorry for you,
dude. It's been rough. I've missed multiple parlays by just that much. But yeah, I think Bryce Young got put in a role that his expectations were too high, or expectations for him were too high. Couldn't live up to them, and now the Panthers have to figure out how to adjust. Are they going to draft another quarterback this year? Is Quinn Ewers a future Carolina Panther? We'll find out, but I don't think Bryce Young is. No. I don't think Bryce Young is the future in Carolina.
Maybe it'll be Andy Dalton. He's going to be the future. I don't think Andy Dalton's the answer for that Carolina team. Just going to throw that out there. I don't think he is. I mean, we'll see, but I don't think he is.
Well, long term, no. But he might be in there. But the NFC South is good. Like
Saints are surprising.
Saints are really good. I haven't watched them yet to figure out what's going on other than Alvin Kamara. Yeah, it might be my guy Talise Fuagwa. Maybe he's putting it together. Falcons upset win. Again, they got.
Hey, I mean, Carolina. Listen, NFC South could turn into the NFC South that we used to know and love back in the day. Only instead of Tampa Bay being at the bottom, it's going to be Carolina at the bottom. Because that year when it was Carolina, Atlanta, and New Orleans, that was some fun years. And then Tampa Bay would always stink it up. And this year it's going to be Carolina stinking it up, and New Orleans, Atlanta, and Tampa Bay are going to be at top, which is kind of fun though, because I like Tampa Bay. I like Tampa, and man, Carolina has not been the same since Cam Newton.
True.
Bring back Newton to Carolina.
No, they already tried that. It didn't work.